Holy Apple. What is good, guys? How are you feeling? I'm sure as hell feeling great right now. I am pumped up. I just got done watching Apple's like two and a half hour long freaking keynote. I don't even know how long it was exactly, but it was a long keynote, but it was filled with some great stuff, and that's what I'm here to talk about, because today was Apple Day. Today was Apple's famous September press conference where every year they announce the new iPhones, they announce the new iOS, they announce new Apple Watch updates, just go over everything. Funny enough, nothing on the MacBook Pros or on the new MacBook Pros. So everybody that thought that I was stupid for buying this MacBook Pro, ha! But we will probably see something on the new MacBook Pros later on this year, in the future, even later towards the end of the year. But for right now, we are here to talk about the major things that happened at Apple's press conference that just got over. I'm literally filming this minutes after they ended the live stream. So, ladies and gentlemen, let's get right into it. Here is a just super blunt and quick recap of what the hell Apple introduced and talked about in their September 7th keynote. Alright, I kept a list. I had my notes open. I was listening the whole damn thing the whole time it was going on. So I did homework for you guys. I sat there, I put notes down, I was ready for this. I prepared myself, okay? I prepared myself. And then right here as well, I even have the iPhone 7 page open right now. Alright, the first thing that they hit us with, like literally right out of the batting cages, just swung for the fence, dude, was Super Mario Run for iOS. The new Super Mario game coming only to Apple, straight to Apple products first. I'm so hyped about this because I know we heard a while ago that one of the big moves Nintendo was doing was they wanted to start having a bigger presence in the mobile gaming industry. They wanted to have kind of like license out their products, they wanted to license out their characters and stuff like that, and they wanted to have a bigger overall presence in mobile gaming. And we are finally seeing the first huge like step towards that with Super Mario Run for iOS. They showed off the game, they showed off what you could do. It looks great. So yeah, Super Mario is coming to iOS this fall, I believe, or this winter. It's gonna be huge. It's gonna be one hell of a game, so be ready for that, because that's all you're gonna hear about coming up soon. Next thing they said, again with apps, which I thought was really cool. They're gonna need to do a lot more things like this to kind of get people back onto that train. But the president of Niantic came out on stage, and you guys may have heard of the company Niantic. They made this little thing called Pokemon Go, and they basically announced that Pokemon Go is going to be playable on the Apple Watch. You can hatch eggs on it, it'll track how far you've walked, it'll show you nearby Pokemon, it'll alert you when a Pokemon pops up near you. So if I'm correct, it basically does everything that Poke Plus thing was gonna do, except except that doesn't have a screen like the Apple Watch. I am getting an Apple Watch, so that will be just a very cool addition to it as well. But yeah, so look forward to Pokemon Go on the Apple Watch. So that'll be pretty freaking rad. Then the next up, the big first product that they talked about, that we all knew that we were gonna hear something about, was the Apple Watch, like I was just saying. And they brought out the new product, the Apple Watch Series 2, and I actually like that name better than if they just called it like the Apple Watch 2 or something like that. I like the Apple Watch Series 2, and they're going to call the first generation the Apple Watch Series 1. The Apple Watch Series 2 has a dual-core processor with a new upgraded GPU. And this is pretty rad. I'm kind of curious to see like to what extent this is, but the new Apple Watch Series 2 is swim proof up to 50 meters, and in the trailer for it, it shows people swimming with the Apple Watch, and they even show that they put it in this like machine that just slapped it around underwater for like 24 hours straight for a week, literally, to see the extent of how waterproof the new Series 2 Apple Watches are. And I'm really curious to see what the extent of it is. I mean, I'll probably take it off anyways, but it'd be cool to swim with your Apple Watch, shower with your Apple Watch, wash your hands and not have to worry about it dying or getting electrocuted. But that was one thing though too, I feel like a lot of people didn't realize with the first Apple Watch was just how water resistant it was. I heard many cases of people putting their Apple Watches through the washer, taking showers with them, etc., and they were completely fine. So the whole water resistant thing is not new to the Apple Watch, but it just seems very upgraded with the Series 2. Also, the Series 1 Apple Watch is getting an upgraded GPU. It'll be kind of just as snappy as the GPU on the Series 2, but it'll still lack a lot of the other new things. But it's cool because the price point is going down to $269, and the price point for the new Apple Watch Series 2 is $369, which begs the question, why it couldn't have just been $350 like I think the first Apple Watch was when it came out. But whatever, it's okay. I'm kind of on the fence of what Apple Watch I will get. Let me know in the comments, guys, if you are even considering an Apple Watch at all. Would you go for the first one because it's cheaper now, or would you go for the newer one because it's $100 more and it just has all the newer stuff? So let me know if you're thinking of an Apple Watch, which one you would rather have. All right, and then that was really it for the Apple Watch stuff. They just talked about new Apple Watch OS. They talked about the new Series 2, like I said, and all the new features within it. And then they talked about a lot of other stuff. There was a lot of chattering for a lot. They talked about education. They talked about iWork. They talked about a ton of other stuff that I zoned out on. But then it happened, and they finally officially announced the iPhone 7 and the iPhone 7 Plus. Now, the rumor of there being 3 iPhones, the 7, the 7 Plus, and the 7 Pro was put to rest. That is not true. It looks like the 7 Plus is basically the 7 Pro, but you can say that about the 6S too, about the 6S Plus being like the 6S Pro. Yeah, they announced it. This is 7, the iPhone 7 and 7 Plus in 2 new glorious, sexy, beautiful colorways. Jet black, which is glossy, and matte black, or they're just calling it black, which I thought was funny because that's just not Apple, just to call it black. But I'm in love with both of these colors. I'm kind of on the fence right now. I think I'm gonna get the matte black one because the glossy black is just looks like a fingerprint magnet to me, and it'll show scratches a lot more and things like that. But I don't know. I'd love to feel it because it looks plastic, but they say it's aluminum, so I'm sure it's like super cold at the touch, and like because it's glossy and has that coat over it. I want to see it in hand. It's one of those things like I really want to see it in hand, but unfortunately I don't think I'm gonna be able to. So I think I'm just gonna have to go with my gut and go with the matte black. But yeah, there's 2 new blacks, so that's pretty rad. Options are always a great thing, so thanks for that, Apple. And then another huge thing with it to kind of battle the Galaxy S7 and Note 7, I don't know, like the Apple Watch, to what extent it is, but the iPhone 7 is officially certified water and dust resistant, which is finally, finally that happened. Like, I mean, I don't know why it's taking this long to do it, but I am just glad that it's finally here. The only way they really showed it though is that it showed a girl using it in the rain, and then it showed like a water being thrown on it. But like I said, I want to know to what extent it is. Like, could I jump in a pool with this? Could I drop it? Could I take a shower with it? Could I like put it in my sink? What's the depth? Like, I want to know the exact details of how water resistant this phone is, because it's not waterproof, it's water resistant. And then they talked about everybody's favorite thing on an iPhone, and that is the camera. And holy shit, did they deliver on this cycle. I actually believe, they say this all the time, but this is the biggest improvement on an iPhone camera from generation to generation that we've ever seen, if you really think about it. Because specifically on the iPhone 7 Plus, because on the 7 Plus, it has the 2-lens dual camera system. Hello? Did I not talk about that before? Because I'm pretty sure there's a video that I made talking about everything we know about the iPhone 7 back when I first started this channel, like in February, dude. And I got basically all of this stuff right. So if I can, I'm sorry, but I'm patting myself on the back for that one, because you guys can go check out that old video. I'll link it in the description down below. I called a lot of this shit, but as did a lot of people. Like, I'm not saying I'm a genius or anything. These things were leaked for a while, so any other tech channel on YouTube called this stuff as well. But I am just it makes me feel good that like I was on the right track. I wasn't just bullshitting you guys. See, I was being upfront. I'm being upfront, man. But so to talk about the iPhone 7 Plus camera really quick, if you want to know why it's important, why the 2-lens camera system is so cool, and why it's honestly going to change the camera game, is the fact that they're both 2 different lenses. One's a wide-angle lens and one is a telephoto lens. So what that means is you're going to be able to have the option to switch between different lenses that better suit different environments. And you're gonna have the 2 lenses working at once, taking one photo and combining the images for an ultimate image. But for me, the coolest part about having the 2-lens system is we're going to have optical zoom, not digital zoom, no longer digital zoom. I'm sure it's digital to an extent, but what that means, if you're not familiar with that term, is if you think about the zoom on your phone. When you try to zoom on Snapchat or on the app, on the camera app, it's fucking terrible. It is terrible. It's what makes it kind of funny sometimes is because of how blurry it gets, but it's because it's digital zoom. You're taking a very crisp image and you're getting closer and closer, but there's no resolution improving along the way. It's just digital zoom is almost always bad just because there's not much else you can do. But then there's optical zoom. Optical zoom is on something like when you, like on a DSLR camera. Like what I'm filming with on right now, I'm zoomed in just a little bit. You know how when you see people with cameras, they'll have their hand on the lens and they'll zoom. You zoom like this. You zoom by having the lens go in and out. That is optical zoom. That means that you're not losing the resolution that you have, but you're getting closer. You're getting closer or farther away from the image, but you're still gonna have the same amount of clarity that you would if you were all the way back. So what Apple did with this 2-lens system in the iPhone 7 Plus is they basically merged digital zoom and optical zoom from a DSLR and put it into an iPhone that fits in your pocket. So now you're going to be able to have the camera app open and zoom in like 5 times onto somebody, and it's not going to lose any of the clarity. It's not going to lose any of the beautifulness of the image. It's going to look as clear and as crisp as it would if you were zoomed all the way out. And then just to close out the whole camera thing, it's great on the 7 as well, but the 7 Plus just trumps the 7's camera just overall with everything. And then you have the 4 LED flash now that's on it, because we've always had 2 LEDs with a true tone flash, like the yellow one and then kind of the pink one underneath it. Now the flash is twice as bright, 50% brighter, because they added 2 more LED lights. So we have 4 on the back. So think of, that's a brighter flashlight when you want to use your phone as a flashlight. That's a brighter flash. It's a more true flash. Just overall great, and it's a great flash to suit the both new great cameras. And then the next bombshell that was dropped on us with the iPhone 7 was a rumor that had been around for a long time, like this entire year. I didn't know if it was exactly going to be true or not. It was the one thing that I was like, I really wonder if that's going to be a thing or not, and it was. And when they were talking about it, I was like, yep, it's wireless headphones. It's freaking wireless headphones. They're gonna talk about the Apple AirPods. That's what they're gonna call them. They're gonna be called AirPods because they have earpods, but these ones are gonna be wireless, so you bring it together, that's gonna mean AirPods. We were right, Apple came out with AirPods. They are introducing the new wireless, basically earpods for the iPhone 7 because they got rid of the headphone jack. The headphone jack is dead and gone, and they are introducing the new AirPods to go along with the iPhone 7. Like back in 2006 when you saw moms driving their Hummers around with little Bluetooth devices. It's essentially what it looks like, but it's super thin and is Apple-fied. So they look just like earpods, but they are a bit longer. They have no cords whatsoever, which I think is the craziest part. Just completely wireless earbud headphones. So you're gonna hear nothing but a ton of memes and jokes about losing these AirPods, about where these AirPods could end up. Even though there is no headphone jack in the new iPhones, they're going to ship with a new earpod to lightning connector headphones just straight in the box. So you're gonna get the same Apple headphones. Instead of a 3.5mm headphone jack at the end, it's gonna be a lightning connector. And then they're also going to give you a lightning connector to audio cable adapter in the box, which I feel like is the smartest move possible. If they didn't do that, I feel like they'd be catching a lot of hate for that. So good job, Apple. That's a good Apple that you ship the adapter in there, because a lot of people aren't gonna wanna make that move, and you're gonna allow them to. And then people who are freaking out about like, well, if there's no audio jack, how am I gonna be able to listen to music and charge my phone at the same time? Easy, wireless. That's what Apple said. They said that the reason that they had to get rid of the audio jack was honestly courage. And I love that. That's something that I wanted to stress in this video. I love that they said that. That little sentence that they said on stage really brought me back to feeling to the Steve Jobs days of Apple, was they said that it's just honestly about innovation. And you can look at it one way, or you can look at it the way that it honestly really is. And that is getting rid of the 3.5mm headphone jack was just courageous. It was the courage of Apple, and then proving that that's not where the future is. That audio jack is honestly in the past. The future is wireless headphones, and the future is improving wireless headphones. I got Bluetooth in my car. That's all I use. I have the wireless Beats. Those are all I use. So I've already made that transition of wireless to where I don't really ever use the headphone jack anymore anyways. It's just honestly where the future is, and I respect Apple a lot for that. That was really cool to hear them say that it just came down to courage. I really like that. I like that they said that. And yeah, other than that, like that was basically it. They just talked about new apps, they talked about iOS 10, they talked about the new Watch Series 2, the Watch OS 3, the iPhone 7, the iPhone 7 Plus, the two new colorways, matte black and jet black. They talked about the new camera system, they talked about the new headphones, they talked about water resistance, everything. So this press conference was really focused on software, the watch, and the iPhone. No MacBook, anything to be seen, no iMac desktop, anything to be seen, no iPad or anything. But yeah, so this video was probably longer than I intended it to be, but I just wanted to give a super quick, right after it ended, recap of the Apple event, of what was announced. A lot of Apple news for this next like 2 weeks, if we're being 100% honest, especially with the rollout of the Note 7 and how bad that's been with the whole blowing up thing. Apple's going to have a lot on their hands right now with these next 2 weeks. You guys are just gonna hear nothing but Apple news. I'm geeking out right now. But yeah, guys, so that's gonna wrap it up on my whole Apple September press conference 2016 recap. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you learned some stuff. I hope you're as excited as I am. And other than that, guys, I will catch you very soon.